My boyfriend was quietly crying right before the awards ceremony. The trending tag was buzzing with theories. What kind of academic conundrum could reduce the school's golden boy to tears? It wasn't until I stepped into the auditorium that the still-sniffling guy tackled me in a hug. "Wifey, I missed you so much. Why'd you take forever to come back?" The iceberg valedictorian persona imploded live on stage. The whole internet screamed that the genius was nothing but love brain. The first time I ever spoke to Julian was in the AV club. The top 10 seniors were broadcasting study tips, and I'd timed it perfectly. The instant Julian, rank 1, finished his segment, I burst in and grabbed his hand. "Julian, whatever you do, do not fall in love. Romance nukes GPAs, torpedoes futures, trust me, kid, don't like anyone." I delivered the sermon with the gravity of a Shakespearean death scene, practically tearful with despair. The entire studio fell silent. Julian's glacier face never flickered. "Got it, Serena," he said into the hot mic. I strolled out certain the mission was on track, until Riverdale's group chat detonated. Only someone in the remedial track would warn the valedictorian not to date on live air. "Serena's a legend, basically a confession in reverse." "Wait," Julian answered her dead serious while still on air. "New ship dropped?" "Ship nothing. Julian belongs to goddess Bianca, keep Serena out of it." Who even is she to forbid him dating? 100+ messages later I knew I'd stepped in it. Tessa, my ride or die who'd been planted to help, texted. They were wearing body mics. "Whole school heard you. Cool. Let me die quietly of mortification." When the dean lookalike principal hauled me in, he asked why I'd said any of that. What was I supposed to tell him? Your star pupil is one love brain episode away from imploding reality? Honestly, it's my own fault. 1,000 years ago every earthly dynasty submitted a millennium plan to celestial HQ. Clear labor divisions, men build empires, women keep hearths. We deities had to draft fate charts accordingly. When the task list reached me, chairman's last apprentice, only one duty remained: dispense love brain, hopelessly in love edition. Piece of cake. Sprinkle appropriate doses per chart, 99% went to women. I still remember the Prime Minister's daughter who, dosed, fell head over hoe for digging wild vegetables. Salary, bottomless ambrosia, 6 insurances plus 2 pensions, room and board, even wisdom tooth extraction covered. Dream gig. I giggled my way through 999 celestial years, 1 year shy of promotion and double salary, then the palace split into factions. Some argued the plan was outdated, others clung to the 1,000-year contract. While silver-haired hotties yelled, Tessa and I sat on the sidelines, cracking sunflower seeds and multitasking. Too engrossed, I kept scooping, and accidentally dumped an entire shift's worth of love brain into one guy. A guy. I soared through the bickering council, flipped open his file, and watched the golden ink destiny dissolve until only male lead remained. I'd rewritten the protagonist of a microverse. Banking on my personal no-calamity hex, I begged Chancellor not to dismember me. Half an hour later Professor Orion booted me to Earth. "Serena, fix Julian's fate chart and realign the timeline, or the world shatters and you're eternally exiled." So yeah, I'm more terrified of him dating than his own mother is. Since enrolling as his classmate, I've tried every angle to keep him heart-whole. Operation Befriend Julian failed because Earth's STEM curriculum is eldritch horror. Way worse than Orion's seminar of love, 101 methods. He's in honors, I'm in academic purgatory. Finding him during pep rally means bulldozing through 1,820 heads. Master, it's not disobedience, STEM is literally lethal. The night I resolved to quit, I dreamed Julian's original match, Bianca, PUA'd him into a sham marriage, his career tanked, depression hit, and he jumped off a roof. His ghost boycotted the underworld, filed appeal after appeal blaming my clerical error, demanding Celestial dock my paycheck and retirement fund. Hell no, my pension. I jolted awake, vaulted from the top bunk, and shook Tessa awake. Our plan worked 1/3, Julian now knows my name. It backfired 1/3, the entire campus thinks I'm in love with him. The final third, Julian just handed me his physics notes and said, "If you really don't want me dating, stick around and supervise, so you'll know I'm not lying." It sounds fishy, yet logical. I grabbed the sacred notes and crammed. After shedding hair number 18,672 and facing the track selection form, I finally admitted defeat, sobbed, and trudged to the honors lab. "Julian, help. I can't crack STEM, I can't stay in your class to police you." He brushed my tears away with his thumb. "Then what are you good at? History? Geography?" Instant waterworks shut down. Humanities track. I ace that stuff. I mean, a millennium-old goddess better rock history and geography. Then don't force it, he said. Pick the humanities track. A little worried about my pension, I asked, but you and I aren't in the same class, what if? It'll be fine. I promised you back then. That snippet of conversation blew up again. OMG, honors track people, are you sure Julian and Bianca are a couple? I swear he dotes on Serena way harder. Right? The straight-A king even lent Serena his notes. Who here has ever laid eyes on the valedictorian's notes? Bianca and Julian never actually said they were together, did they? Don't care. Prom queen and king are endgame. Are you sure Serena isn't scheming? She keeps saying she doesn't want Julian dating, yet she sticks to him like glue. I couldn't resist clapping back. To whoever's slandering strangers, may every job you ever hold come without a 401k. Things began veering in a weird direction, but my original mission was to save the male lead from his love brain. No, abort. I have to stick to the main quest. Eyes on the leads. Except those two haven't even shared a room alone, so how were they fated to become lovers in the original chart? Ever since I arrived, Julian and Bianca's dynamic hasn't shifted much. The love brain buff hasn't upended his life either. Is this the halo of a world protagonist? Could he and Bianca stay completely unscathed? Then, while I was burrowed under my blanket, Tessa yanked me upright. Serena, Julian ticked humanities on the afternoon track selection form? The whole school's gossiping that he ditched STEM for you. Huh? I turned to find every classmate aiming gossip laser eyes at me. Lovely, let me mortify myself once more, shallow edition. But viewed from another angle, the male and female leads won't share a classroom anymore, and the hero won't get easily brainwashed by the heroine. Major progress in safeguarding the timeline. After tracking, I landed in the humanities honors class, and, surprise, Julian did too. His persona still matches the old fate chart, Eternal Ice King. I didn't initiate conversation. As long as he doesn't trigger love brain and crash the world, then lodge a posthumous complaint against me, he can do whatever he wants. We both signed up for Riverdale's summer retreat. While everyone was busy with Capture the Flag, I slipped away to consult the local dryad of this mountain, hoping to channel her and radio Professor Orion a report. I'd barely cleared one ridge when Julian's voice sounded behind me. Serena, where are you headed? I spun around in fright. While my brain frantically pieced together an alibi, a little flower-patterned snake shot from the grass and sank its fangs into Julian's neck. The ever-frozen expression on Julian's face never flickered. He simply closed his eyes and folded to the ground. Jade, have you lost it? That's the male lead. The tiny snake, this peak's local dryad, morphed into a middle school-looking girl who stood beside me, aggrieved. I just got peckish. He's so pretty I had to take a bite. Save him first. Dryad venom isn't hard to counter. Using Professor Orion's non-immortal mantra purge, I flushed the toxin from Julian's system. To avert any aftershocks, I hoisted him onto my back and hauled him to camp. When classmates saw me carry Julian in, their faces formed a spectrum of emoji reactions. After he came around, the first words from his lips were my name, fuel that set group chat thumbs typing at light speed. Ignoring the non-stop pings, I asked Julian if anything still hurt. No, all good. Just. Serena, did you save me? Wait. His features stayed calm, yet in his eyes I caught the exact look Professor Orion's pet fox gives when it's begging for pets, dangerously charming, scrambling my brain into a maze. I did. That night I discovered the explosive power of those two words. Julian stood outside my cabin tent, half-dried hair dripping, the white tee plastered to his frame. I realized Julian, like my Adrian, has a thing for white. White may spell purity, but let one extra color stain it and the picture changes completely. Spring hues drifted before my eyes, my soul spiraled inside my skull. I swallowed and asked what he needed. About today, I want to thank you. So tell me, is there anything you want? His expression hadn't shifted, but his pauses felt oddly placed. Anything at all? Yes, anything. As he spoke, he stepped closer. Becoming close friends with you, that's on the table too. Soul launched sky high. I could feel heat trickling below my nose. No, impossible. You must study hard, become the genius you're meant to be, no random ideas. While wiping the nosebleed, I shoved him away. Yeah, right, like I'd accept him. One slip and poof goes my pension, though, those pecs looked solid. Wonder if they feel anything like Adrian's abs. I haven't seen that mask-obsessed wolf dog in 3 centuries. Click. Shutter sound. Suddenly, I'm convinced the celestial of karma personally scripted my earthly fate chart, guaranteed center of gossip at all times. Serena's wild, alone with Julian, and she actually bled from the nose. Wonder how Bianca's gonna take it. That was the only Riverdale group post I caught. Dear heavens, am I making the world implode even faster? First day of the new semester, Bianca appeared before me so gorgeous I almost drooled. Like Chana stepped out of the moon palace. I'd spoken my thoughts aloud, again. Professor, ever since I hit the mortal realm I mortify myself daily. Serena, she said, I don't like Julian, we're just classmates. My sole goal was to beat him. But now I'm STEM and he's humanities, hardly rivals anymore. If you really like him, I wish you luck, just don't let a guy derail your studies. Wait, this Bianca isn't the figure I expected. Forget Professor Orion's 100 Laws of Love and its jerks and damsels formula. In every prior reel of Julian's life, Bianca was his predestined true love, yet the cord binding them was a red string knotted into dead loops. Everywhere were pitfalls, every turn a misunderstanding. She would abandon academics, quit jobs, even cut off her family just to stay with the cold, distant Julian. And the Julian of that chart, like most men I've watched for millennia, brimmed with ambition and duty and a sliver of affection, yet enough to make the heroine plunge into fire for him. But the girl standing in front of me right now just told me that, as the lead heroine, she doesn't actually like the hero. Is that even allowed? I suddenly remembered the argument raging among the celestial staff right before I left. In this new era, women have become suns who shine on their own. We can't shackle their whole lives with fate charts drawn up in some old contract. The world really felt as if it were falling apart, yet this particular kind of collapse had a strange pull on me. I swallowed the words that would have stopped her and asked instead, a little nervously, so, if I get stuck on a math problem, can I come to you? Of course. I'm free anytime. Great. I was ecstatic. Up in Celestial I'd barely seen Chairman E, but here on Earth I could hang out with her whenever I wanted. The moment I turned around, half the class was craning their necks for gossip. My phone buzzed with a text. Casey, Serena, what's with you? Why do you keep unsending messages from the underworld every single day? Riley, I was mortified. Tessa informed me the entire school was shipping couples. There's Julian and Bianca, there's you and Julian, and of course there's all Serena. All Serena? Means you alone collect everyone else. No way, no way. Casey once said anyone who 2 times gets rammed by the Forgotten River ferry after death and breaks into 4 pieces. But I can't choose Julian now, either. The girl in front of me looked constipated. Following her stare, I found Julian standing right behind me. When I spun back, Tessa had vanished. Facing that gorgeous face, I felt fondness and panic. No. Julian, I didn't mean. I really didn't. Before I could finish, he drooped like a scolded puppy. I get it. I thought you liked me, that's why you saved me. Sorry for bothering you. I'll keep watching over you quietly, I won't make you unhappy. Wait, what do you mean? Julian lifted his head, eyes full of devotion. Serena, I like you, have since the first day we met. Hold on, the love brain hasn't worn off. The love brain is targeting me. This world is doomed. I freaked, rolled up my bedding, and was ready to bolt back to the Red Match Palace for a noon nap, pension or no pension. Mist swirled up, and a hand grabbed my packed bag. It was Professor Orion. I gesticulated wildly until I'd explained all the recent off-script chaos. He only stroked his beard, smiled, and told me to stay and help. But what about his love brain? Won't that destabilize the world and make it collapse? That depends on whom his love brain latches onto. If it's you, would you dump him, break his heart, and throw the world into turmoil? Thinking of that handsome face, I shook my head, then asked, so whose side am I on here? Go with the flow. When the time comes, Serena, you'll know. Remember, go with the flow. Still puzzled, I returned to the classroom and found Julian newly assigned as my desk mate. He'd resumed his Ice Prince top student mask, only the faint redness in his eyes betrayed him. I told myself, go with the flow. Julian, why did you pick the humanities track? I watched his tear-reddened eyes slowly blush deeper. Because it's your strength. I want to understand you, so I'm moving toward whatever you love. That sentence gave my heart a direct jab. Honestly, for a sapiosexual face con, those words were chaos in my chest. After I went with the flow and ruffled his hair, I couldn't help thinking, facing a specimen like this, sacrificing myself to be the target of his love brain might be acceptable. Let me repair this timeline with my own body. No way. After 999 years of watching foolish mortals, letting a pretty face sway me would be temporary. He still had to pass my tests. Julian kept his word. He tutored me in my weak subjects, read the books I read, played the games I played, and every morning brought me breakfast tailored to my taste. There was even a portion for Bianca. Serena, could you control Julian? He's taking love my friends to the max. Your friends can't handle the sugar storm. By now Bianca, like Tessa, had become an enthusiastic gal pal, regularly bribed by Julian. Tessa chimed in, Julian comes to me every day asking for stories about you. He's filled an entire A4 notebook. When I asked what he's planning, guess what he said? I don't have any wild hopes, and I don't need her to compromise for me. I just want everything she does to make her happy. So, Serena, what do you think? Me? I think I'll go with the flow. I told Julian the same thing, and he almost lifted me in a bear hug. After a warning glare from me, he spun in a circle on the spot. So I actually have a chance? You could say that. That night during self-study he suddenly texted me, that's okay, I'd be honored to be Serena's backup. Ah. A guy with love brain is beyond saving. Earth's schools are nothing like celestial lecture halls. Here I tasted a different life. Professor Orion never contacted me again, and soon I faced the most important exam of all, and got into college. Julian scored almost the same as I did. We were admitted to the same university, the same major, even assigned to the same class. At the freshman welcome party Julian downed 2 beers and started a tipsy confession. What? Serena, hick. Serena? I want only Serena. While everyone looked around wondering who Serena was, he kept babbling, boss, get me an order of takoyaki to go. And, a bowl of pear soup, my Serena loves those. Oh, and flowers, Lisianthus, I'll buy Serena Lisianthus on the way home, hee hee. All the classmates laughed, saying the new guy must be girlfriend-brained. Whoever the girl was, she had to be amazing to snag such a hottie. Then Julian tripped and fell right into my arms. He looked up, blinked misty puppy eyes, and said, you're so pretty, you look just like my Serena. Are you her? Julian, stop, you're drunk. You are Serena. Then can I hold your hand? Wobbly, he reached out, stars sparkling in his eyes. I gave in and extended my hand. Julian clasped it reverently and brushed a soft kiss across my palm. With a thunderous rush, the last floodgate in my heart burst open. He was already good enough, those so-called tests could go to hell. The campus WhatsApp group was soon flooded with a single story. It told of a boy who adored a girl like a goddess, and one line read, the moment she stood in front of me, everything else was stripped away, only one sentence remained in my head, her voice is beautiful, I want to obey her every word. I glanced at the still icy Julian beside me and waggled my phone at him. The 6'1" boy immediately bent down, beaming, his invisible tail whipping little whirlwinds in the air. Serena, I just wanted to write something. If you don't like it, I don't dislike it. Don't dislike what? The story I wrote, or the guy who wrote it? I said nothing. The welcome assembly began amid thunderous applause, and I whispered against his ear, neither. We were officially together. Sorry, Professor Orion, I still surrendered to the cult of beauty. After all, who could resist a gorgeous man trotting after you every day, wagging his little tail? But once we were actually dating, Julian's love brain truly activated. Baby Serena, whatcha doing? My panel's almost over. Serena, let's go eat spicy chicken, okay? Serena, why were you ignoring me? Babe, whose heart are you warming now? Hoo. Fine, ignore me and I'll ignore you too. I've already ignored you for 1 whole second. I'm getting mad. Woman, you toss me aside like old shoes. I'll punish you. I caught the last line while chatting with my advisor about sources and texted back. The reply popped up instantly. Baby answered, I'm not mad anymore. I swear, not a single rule from Professor Orion's 100 Laws of Love was ever deployed, yet Julian picked them up on his own. I started to feel every past dose of love brain had been shot into the wrong person. If we gave it all to the guys instead, wouldn't most romances end in happily ever afters? In this age of equality, millennium-old rules clearly don't apply. Julian chose historical linguistics for his focus. I picked modern literature. The night before track assignments, like a restless puppy he sniffed and kissed me non-stop. demanding I say I love you 100 times before he'd calm down. I finally understood the final law of love, what a sweet burden feels like. Near graduation, one day Julian pressed against me and said he was stressed. I thought the overdue melodrama was finally arriving, but he just hugged me, wronged and whimpering. Wifey, you're so pretty, what if someone steals you? They won't. How could I ever leave you? What if? I'm so scared, so wifey has to comfort me. When he tired himself out, Julian nuzzled my ear and murmured, Serena, I love you. His clinging grew worse after my first book Her blew up. The essays distilled my 1,000-year observations on every kind of woman. After arriving on Earth, I realized that under banners of equality, mortal women could be as dashing as Chona, owning their own halls, or like the Dean, commanding the big picture from their strongest perch. So I wrote down those awakened, battling, upward-striving spirits for mortals and gods alike to see. The book rocketed. I gained legions of fans before graduation. OMG. The women this gorgeous sis writes, I'm in love. This is the feminist voice we want. Sniff I wanna be like that. I was lost, but now I've decided, applying to gender studies grad school this year. I'm becoming truly independent. With prose this fierce, author must be a husband. Husband isn't a gender, it's an attitude. I want to marry Serena Sis's attitude. At first I shrugged it off, but soon I noticed every marry me or I'll wife her comment drew a reply from an account called Serena's Book. She's amazing, but maybe already taken? Eyes shut, don't look, she's my wife. I can set you up, any gender, just stop eyeing mine. Trolls got equally energetic responses. Troll, feminism? More like chicks doing pickup artist BS. Who'd worship that? Serena's Book, flunked preschool? Crawl back. No brain? Fight dung beetles. Don't parade that half-wit knowledge, your type couldn't pay someone to take you. Troll, random rant just stokes gender war. Serena's Book, nah, it's war between brains and whatever you are. Not calling you brainless, questioning your humanity. Troll, only a wimp would shill for this chick. Serena's Book, no wife, no dinner, go beg. Kowtow and maybe my wife flips you a coin out of pity. That night a teary Julian wrapped his arms around my waist and whined that his teeth were bad, he'd have to eat soft rice. Live off me. Fine, fine, my big puppy gets whatever he wants. Professor Orion finally reappeared 6 years later. By then I had my own career. Julian's academic papers and face had made him a media darling. The day Orion came, my second book Field Notes from Earth had just launched. It collected mortal stories in which I spent pages portraying earthly women utterly unlike celestial legend. He told me the book had reached the celestial realm and was being studied word by word. Serena, you completed the assignment brilliantly, you can return anytime. But I never shoved Julian back into the future written on his fate chart. Is that really okay? That chart was only one possible future. No one ever decreed a person gets just one. Fate charts can be rewritten? Why haven't I heard that before? Ahem. They couldn't, until you just proved they can. You even beta tested whether that old contract needs amending. I sputtered, Professor. You used me as a lab rat. Weren't you afraid your cute little disciple might get flattened when reality imploded? He gave an awkward laugh. Relax, someone's got your back. Humph, what if you're too old and can't protect me anymore? Running my mouth earned me a 10,000-word fieldwork report, to be hand-delivered to Celestial. Before I left, I texted Julian, gotta pop out for a bit, day stuff. I'll be back for your ceremony tonight, moi. I honestly thought I'd drop the folder off and be gone in 5 minutes. But the Chancellor and Taylor acted like they'd just caught a rare Pokemon, grilling me about everything under the heavens while Celestial's grandfather clock swallowed half an hour. By now half a mortal day had probably vanished too. There's no Verizon in the sky, my phone was a paperweight up here. It was Professor Orion who finally scurried in, panting, to tell me that down on Earth Julian's tear-streaked backstage photo was going viral. The trending tag was exploding. Academic hottie alert, someone sent him to my lecture hall. Random users were posting crying emojis and demanding to know what cosmic equation had broken the golden boy. One top comment read, ship the genius and the problem to my place, my libido will solve both. I massaged my temples at the chaos below. Chancellor, Taylor, please, Julian's got a ceremony, if I'm not there. Taylor's face darkened, he'll snap at you? No, but he'll cry rivers and ask if I stopped loving him. The Chancellor and Taylor burst into teasing giggles. I rocketed back to campus and found Julian in the wings, hugging his phone like a lost puppy, completely clueless that he'd already broken the internet. The second he spotted me, galaxies ignited in his doggy eyes and he sprinted, crashing into me and circling my waist. Babe, I thought you ditched me. You wouldn't answer, where were you? I missed you so bad. I petted his hair while smiling apologetically at the faculty member trying to cue him on stage. Only after I pinky promised did Julian switch from tragic pup to star student and stride up to collect his award. Then came the acceptance speech. Thanks to my wife, love you, wife is the GOAT. Yup, after all these mortal years, public mortification is basically my cardio. A helpful reporter filmed me calming him backstage, paired with that nuclear thank you. The clip detonated online. Netizens screamed, the Ice King valedictorian is a proud love brain, red-cheeked and loud about it. Within hours my identity was excavated. When everyone realized we'd already picked up the marriage certificate, the buzz turned into fireworks. So this is what talent meets beauty looks like in real life. Give me more. I'm waving the book paint CP flag so hard it's hurricanes in every direction. If I had a wife as gorgeous and brilliant as Serena, I'd be 24/7 hard eyes too. Wait, remember that rumor ages ago that Serena was taken? They even unearthed Julian's alt account, and half our old classmates swore we'd been soulmates since orientation. The mini essay Julian posted during freshman move-in resurfaced and rocketed across the web. Now that he's staked his claim out loud, the perpetual glacier smirk is gone, replaced by a smug, can't-stop grin. He's abandoned stealth mode, only likes from his main handle now. One user asked, "You switched from STEM to humanities for her, any regrets?" I watched Julian reply with his blue-checked badge. I didn't switch for her, I switched to keep pace with her. I own every step of my life, and with Serena, it's never been settling, it's a full-speed run toward the same horizon. Right then I understood why reality hadn't imploded. Julian had chosen a different track, but his conviction was ironclad. We stayed sickeningly sweet till wrinkles and gray hairs. The moment my immortal soul slipped free, it zipped back to celestial. I felt a pang, but I'd already had a lifetime hand-in-hand with Julian. Greed is forbidden. The board reviewed my report, deliberated under chandeliers, and voided the millennium-old contract, sealing a new one. The job distribution of Lovebrain still existed, and I kept the cushiest gig in the bureaucracy plus my full pension, only the recipe was tweaked. 3 parts pure love, 3 parts reason, 3 parts ambition, 1 part glorious madness. And when I sprinkle it over Earth, I don't bother sorting by gender, everyone gets a light misting. Lovebrain is no longer shorthand for stupidity, it's the emblem of humanity's most exquisite offering. I was parked in the grand hall with Tessa, munching popcorn over Professor Orion's latest scandal with the Fox clan matriarch, when a herald burst in. The chairman's first disciple has returned from the trials of ascension. Adrian? Back? I hadn't even realized he'd left to face a trial. A man in a pristine white mask stepped into view, and something about him felt off, yet delight sparked. We hadn't met in centuries. Adrian, welcome home. That cool. Clip syllable froze me. Too familiar. Not centuries old familiar, but see in 5 minutes familiar. The next second he yanked me into an iron embrace. Serena, babe, you reincarnated too fast, I could barely catch up. Julian. I ripped the mask away, the face underneath was identical. So this was my Adrian, masked all along because 2 trials still loomed, only after the third could he bear his face. The mortal world I'd visited was precisely where he faced the final ordeal, the trial of love. Professor Orion's promise that someone will shield you had meant Adrian, already double triumphed, burning centuries of cultivation to cocoon my descent. In places I'd never seen, our red hemp cord had stayed lashed tight. A hollow ache in my chest dissolved like sugar. And so the sweet burden of life rebooted on max volume. Serena, why didn't you tell me you were dropping by Alchemy Hall? Wife, I'm 5 centuries older, are you gonna call me grandpa? Baby Serena, you're ignoring me, am I past my pretty boy expiration date? Crying emoji. Fresh off shift, I surrendered. Fine, I'm done. You may enter. A white blur torpedoed into my palace, actual wolf dog tail whipping like a metronome on overdrive. Adrian glued himself to me. Wife, I love you. Only then did Dean's prophecy click. I'd never face a cataclysm because love had been clearing the road ahead of me all along. Thanks for listening to today's tale. How would you score it, 1 to 10? If you enjoyed it, smash that like and share it with friends. Tell us your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories. See you next time.